Okay, this video is going to be a little different than some of the other ones we've done. In this video, instead of discussing hard drive repair and data recovery and doing demonstrations of that, we're actually going to discuss doing a proper backup of your data so that maybe you won't need a service like ours. We get a lot of questions from our customers, especially once they've used our service, because data recovery tends to be fairly expensive. They'll often ask, what do we suggest as far as a good backup solution, a good backup plan to prevent something like that from happening again? Our answer's always been to have some sort of redundant backup solution. And what we mean is to not only have your one backup at all times, but also have a secondary backup as well. Now, I realize that just as human beings in general, it's hard enough to have one backup and to keep up with that process. Asking someone to have two is almost impossible. So you want to make the process itself as automated as it can be so that you don't have to think about it. It just happens in the background, and if the worst case happens and you end up having data loss or something like that, then at least you have the peace of mind that you've had it backed up in a couple different places. You don't necessarily have to have two backups, like as far as one local and one in the cloud. You can have two physical hard drives that you back the data up to, but we still recommend keeping them in two separate locations. You don't want to have a worst case scenario where there's a flood or a fire that not only knocks out your source drive but your first backup, but then if you have your secondary backup there as well, it takes that out also. So having them in two different locations is ideal to prevent any substantial loss from occurring. And you don't want to rely on RAID arrays. That's not a backup. Having a mirrored set, one hard drive that mirrors to another one all the time, while technically, yes, it is a sector by sector copy of your source drive. If you have any type of corruption in one of the primary drive, that's going to propagate over to the secondary drive, and you're still going to have data loss on both of them then instead of just the one. And as far as like RAID 5, even though they have some redundancy and you can have a one drive fail and still have your data, a lot of times when we get RAID arrays in, they've had one drive out of the array for a long period of time and nobody's even realized it, and then the secondary drive goes out and it takes the entire array down. So RAID arrays are not a viable solution for backups. You really just need two separate disks or units, storage units that you back your data up to. Now there are ways to do it that are free and easy to use. We tend to really like the free stuff, so for our own use here at our facility. So we use actually a software called FBackup. You can get it at fbackup.com. It's 100% free. We are not affiliated with them in any way, shape, or form. I guess they do offer a more professional solution called Backup for All, but we've just used the FBackup software and it's been fine for what we need to do here. But you can schedule your backups. You can have it run in the background. It can do it on an automated basis where it's daily, weekly, monthly, however it works best for you. And I'll show you briefly how this works. This is what the software looks like when it starts up. You would essentially just go through and create a new job, and we'll just name this test. And then you can select your destination. Now you do have some pretty cool options for your destination. If you have drives that are networked together, you can actually choose a network drive, but you can also have it back up to your Google Drive as well if you're signed up and have that. We'll just keep this as a local. We'll select a drive that we already have on here that we use as our daily backups. And then what we want to do is browse for the folders in that drive. This is our daily backup. We'll go through here and use a test backup. Actually, we will go through and create a new folder. I just want to do a new one altogether because I was doing that folder for a different video that we're going to try to do here shortly. So our test backup folder is the one that we're using, and we want to go through and select what folders we want to have as our backup. You can go through and either choose to have the entire drive backed up, or you can go through and select specific folders. So let's just say I've got this old hard drive from years ago. We'll just say we want to do this. We want to do our user profile, and let's just say I'm only interested in backing up my pictures because I add to them all the time, and it'll keep this simple. So we have that done. We have it selected. We have our destination selected. If there were to be directories in here that contain temporary internet files, things like that, it would just ignore those, because you don't need to have your cookies and all that stuff backed up. You can either make a full backup of the directory you've selected, or you can make a mirror of the entire drive if you want. You can select if you want to have it encrypted or not, and then create a password for that encryption if you want to use that. For this test, we won't do that. You can select if you want to have it done manually, so you choose when you're going to have it back up, or you can just not think about it and have it daily, weekly, or monthly. Let's just say we want to do it daily, and let's just say every day at 3 a.m. it backs up. So you would save your job, and then this lists your job here. And you can have multiple jobs. You can have multiple jobs for different directories, different drives, things like that. And let's just say we just go ahead and run this job. Now it'll build a file list out, and it will let you know that in the progress indicator how far along we are for the backup process. And I don't know that I have a lot of stuff in that directory there. So we'll go through and just let this run. But by having this type of setup, you make your first backup here, and then every day at 3 a.m. it's going to go through and run this same backup process. Now, from what I've noticed is it'll only go through and just add the new files or the changed files that have been modified since the previous backup. So if you end up having a lot of data that you need to back up repeatedly, then it usually ends up not being too big of a deal. I may go ahead and pause this until this process finishes, just so that I'm not rambling on here for the next 2 or 3 minutes, but it shouldn't take too long, and I'll be right back. Okay, so our backup just completed, and or is completing. It's just wrapping up the last few files here. And once this is done, it'll give you a little report as well. And if there's any warnings or anything like that, or any issues that came up, it'll log those as well. And you can either dismiss them or address those issues there in that log. So now with this little indicator here, this backup will run again tonight at 3 a.m. if we were to leave it active. And then for your backup, you have everything here under a zip file, and you can go through and either execute that zip file and read the contents so that you can browse around and restore it if you'd like, and that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I mean, it's really very simple. It makes it very easy to keep an automated type of backup going. So that's if you have a local hard disk that you want to back up to, or like I said, you can use fBackup for your Google Drive or a networked drive as well. Another online solution that we use, and we are an affiliate of this company, but is iDrive. And the only reason we're affiliated with them is because we had been looking into doing and hosting our own online backup solution for customers that have used our services. But really, we like the way that they had this set up, and they have a really good reputation. You get 5 gigabytes for free of backup. So if you have just some, let's say your QuickBooks file for your business, or some pictures that you definitely don't want to lose, things like that. I mean, 5 gigabytes is pretty good size for just a small type of backup that you want to make sure you definitely do not lose that data. But even still, if you want to go up to 1 terabyte, you're talking about $1 a week. Essentially, it's $52 for the year. So it's really not a bad deal. And they have everything HIPAA compliant, so everything is secured and encrypted. The only thing that I warn people against is don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't put all your hope and your faith into a single online backup or local backup. We've had countless customers have come to us because their source drive failed, and then they've gone to pull their online backup out, and either the online backup didn't back up the data that they thought it was backing up, or the online backup comes through and it's corrupted for some reason. It either didn't decrypt properly or something happened in the transmission. So, you having multiple backups in 2 different types of storage devices in 2 different locations is absolutely 100% by far the best way to go in protecting your data. And I hope this helps you, and I hope that you'll definitely take advantage of this if you have your data now to back it up, and even if it's not through iDrive or using the FBackup software, just use something that is reputable and something that you don't even have to think about it being done. And if you have any questions, if you have lost data on a hard drive that has failed, it's clicking, it's making unusual noises or anything like that, and you just need your data recovered either on a standard hard drive or a RAID array, doesn't matter how complex the RAID array is, please take a look at our website at acsdata.com. We'll be happy to help you. You can also give us a call at 1-800-717-8974, and we'll be happy to discuss your recovery needs with you in as much detail as possible. We're always here. We're able to help you and discuss whatever issue you might be having, and try to even point you in the right direction without having to send in a drive to us to help you get your data back. So thanks again for watching, and again, visit us at acsdata.com for more information about our company. Thanks, and have a great day.